This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Want to keep your personal number private but still stay connected? With Line 2, you can get a second phone line right on your device with a super simple app and no need for another phone. Whether it's for online shopping, dating, or shielding your main number from spam, Line 2 is an easy way to manage it all. Ready for peace of mind without breaking the bank? Call, text, block, and more for only $9.99. Get started with line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in any app store today. Line 2, your second line simplified.
KFAN and Sukup Manufacturing bring you the Fan on the Farm. It's back starting May 19th. 9 to noon, we'll be taking your tractor talkbacks, and each day one farmer will be chosen to receive a Sukup prize pack, including a Carhartt cooler, a Brewmade Growler canteen. Get the full details at KFAN.com/farm. Sukup Manufacturing Company, helping farmers feed and fuel the world.
Vegas was one of the favorites. You're such a downer and negative. You expect perfection from all the teams. It doesn't happen that way. Take a breath. It'll be okay. I bet you can get lower bowl tickets half price at the X. They'll love Mike there. Is getting out of the first round expecting perfection? People, I don't understand this audience. Dan and Brainerd is a joke. Exactly. Win a series already. The fact that the Wild claim state of hockey is an embarrassing joke. Any NHL fan outside of Minnesota laughs at the state of hockey slogan. Well, I've said this before. I've gotten in trouble for it. When it comes to professional hockey, we're not the state of hockey. State of hockey is sellable as a concept that it's bigger here because it's got an identity at all levels, right? That's it.
Yeah.
It ain't pro hockey, boys and girls. It can't be. What day is Sunday sermons on again? We're going to go Sunday this week.
That's a good idea. It's available.
Is Russo okay, by the way?
Why wouldn't he be?
Well, because in all the time I've known him, he's never not returned a text in like 30 seconds. And I asked him about a stat that I was checking for accuracy, and he didn't get back to me. And now I want to get a hold of him to see if he'll come on Sunday sermons. And because we are going to have it on Sunday this week. The sermons will be on Sunday. Let's see. It's a couple other hockey texts. Dan, your guy Billy Guerin was hired in August 2019, so he's coming up on 6 years. In that time frame, he's exactly one draft pick that's making legitimate contributions to the team. This team, and that's Rossi, who he wants to trade. He's added one other impact player through trades, and that's Faber, I should say, but he had to give up a great player to get him. He's had the salary cap excuse. That excuse ends now. Another first-round loss next year will be immediately followed by a house cleaning for the Wild. Well, that's going to be the question. Who will be on the clock? We had a source who shall remain nameless who already had the Wild firing another coach, Heinze. See if I can get the text. To, in the meantime, hold on, let me get to it. Gobble up Mike Sullivan.
Oh, the Pittsburgh guy.
Yes, but then he finds out too late. Sullivan's already been gobbled up.
The Rangers, right?
I don't think Guerin with a straight face can fire another coach.
No,
can he?
He doesn't want to do that.
I don't think that. I don't think that's going to be a good look at this point to me. Come on, Dan. Come on, man. Minnesota proclaims to be the state of hockey. At least win a round or the cup for the kids. Also, can you validate my parking? Bada bing, bada boom. Angry Wild fan here. I'm fed up with having a lackluster second line. This has been going on for 25 years. And I'm Done. Peter Popsicle is in the fetal position. Dan, thanks to your opening rant, I had to double up on my gummies. Tyler Fairmont, I'm exhausted by the salary cap hell excuse. We were the best team in hockey in December, didn't play overwhelmingly better when Kaprizov and Ek came back outside the explosion that first game. Unless they're a top seed heading into next year's playoffs, I refuse to believe it will make that big a difference. Let's see. Long time. Dan, longtime listener, but your attitude about the way you treat this is such a, I don't want to say blankish move, but and then it's sort of ... So people, I guess it's the old, don't shoot the messenger. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm trying to stand tall on behalf of Minnesota Wild fans, hockey fans. And I'm not demanding anybody be gone. I'm not demanding Bill Guerin go away. I'm not demanding Heinze go away. All I'm saying is the mentality we're in here now is not healthy in this regard. And now more than ever, we should be on the clock. And I'm still not even convinced that that's enough on the basis of the sameness of what we've seen. And being closer, I mean, this is what we're down to. Well, we're closer to not being eliminated in the first round than we used to be. That's, in effect, what we're saying. And it may well be true. But, again, given the randomness of hockey, I would find that futile. I would find that very unsatisfactory if I were rooting for this team. And I'll say again, the reminder regarding our special teams, to me, is where I just don't give much quarter. And you can say, well, if you have better players, then with maybe more flexibility in that regard, more money, then maybe those players contribute to better penalty kill, better power play. But all of this is, most of the time, the margin between winning and losing in the postseason is not dramatic on a given night. And I don't think we can be taken seriously as a unit, as a team, as a franchise, until we figure out those two areas. And whether that's talent or system, whatever it is, it's like it's year after year we've been talking about that. And it bit them again this year. It set the tone. It may have been a bad call. Was it another double minor?
Yeah, right away.
That led to their first power play goal. But nevertheless,
we're really paying the price for getting that LeBron review right.
Yeah,
because we haven't gotten a good review since then. You think the gods have
already? Yeah.
They gave us the little one in Game 3 or Game 4, and now we're already paying for it again. It's not right. Everyone knew about the Wild. There's a reason Beyond the Pond ended last week. Wow. That's a shot. Whew. Whew. I knew the Wild were one and done because they just don't have the talent, unlike the Wolves, who will go far because they have the talent. Well, talent's some of it. There's no question about that. But it's also putting together the talent. It's putting together the team. It's fitting pieces together. And again, I mean, the remarkable part about the Wolves story is the obvious, that a lot of us, including me, felt queasy about this club, queasier than a year ago because of the stops and starts. But as Mike Conley told us, I thought it was an interesting observation that when it came to what we now view as the versatility of this team to play small or big, he said that he thought in the beginning maybe that hurt us because we were trying to figure out, well, when do you go one way? When do you go the other? How do you put all that together? And I think what we did learn is that took a little bit of time. So maybe in another 8 to 10 years, the Wild will be able to figure the whole thing out. Should probably pause.
Let's do it. I don't want to get too far behind because we're going to try to reach Sam Mitchell off the golf course. What else you got?
The Fan and BigDeck.com. I'm going to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. The 4 o'clock keyword is check. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword.
Want to keep your personal number private but still stay connected? With Line 2, you can get a second phone line right on your device with a super simple app and no need for another phone. Whether it's for online shopping, dating, or shielding your main number from spam, Line 2 is an easy way to manage it all. Ready for peace of mind without breaking the bank? Call, text, block, and more for only $9.99. Get started with line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in any app store today. Line 2, your second line simplified.
Check.
That's good to be Sam Mitchell, man. Basically, all he does now is crack open a mic every once in a while. No prep. Cracks open a mic to analyze an NBA game and golf. That's all. That's really, and occasionally I think he does some AAU basketball. But the good part about that is he's available to us, so I'm not really ripping it. Have I sized up your existence these days? Sam?
Nope, you haven't, Dan. I actually do a lot more than what you think I do. But I do most of what I have to get done in the morning.
Oh.
I'm a morning person. I have all my energy and all of my creative ideas and creative energy in the morning.
Okay.
But it doesn't take a lot of creativity to look at these two teams and to tell all you naysayers and all these so-called experts who thought the Lakers were going to win in 5 that 2 plus 2 is 4 and not 5. So it doesn't take a lot of my brain power to figure out what you dum-dums could not see what was right in front of you. The Wolves were a better team. The Lakers had LeBron and Luka, but the Lakers didn't even have the two best conditioned players in the series. The best conditioned player and the most physical player was Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. By the way, I'm glad to find out that you decided not to take a victory lap, like you told me on the phone. Dan, I thought about lighting a cigar.
Yeah, sure.
Then I thought about, and I don't like cigars. I don't smoke cigars. Then I thought about taking a private jet to Europe to celebrate, but then I don't have a private jet.
That's it.
So I just figured I would go to the driving range and hit some balls, and then wait for you to call me, and I'll just gloat in all my glory.
No, I don't blame you. I don't remember if you said Wolves in 5. Garcia was
I said it on my radio show with Sirius.
Right.
Me and Gonzalez. I said in 5.
You did say in 5. You're on the record there. Wow. That's going out on a limb, because I don't think picking the Wolves.
No, Dan. It's not. Again, I didn't see what y'all saw. I saw the Wolves being bigger, younger, physical, and as I told you when we talked on the phone, look at the numbers. Everybody look at the numbers, but my eyes tell me Luka and LeBron going to play 44 minutes apiece. They don't rebound. They don't play defense. Wow. Okay, when are they at their best? When they have the ball. Okay, it's one basketball. Do you really think when LeBron has the ball, Luka going to run around like Steph Curry and vice versa? No. So now what's going to happen? Austin Reeves is going to have to guard Nas Reed and that big brute that we have now, that people have figured out how to coach. So now what?
You're yelling at us.
And you have
the
no
Lakers
big
to win.
So Rudy Gobert is going to look like Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, he did in the last game. So, by the way, speaking of that, you were once the NBA Coach of the Year. So, did Redick panic? I mean, I'm trying to understand. He had limited options. I'll grant you the point. But I, for the life of me, don't get why you decide we're going to go even smaller that last game, because honestly, all due credit to Rudy, I would have been mad at him if he didn't finish, given that opportunity to go 27 and 24, because he had nobody to mess with under the basket.
Well, look, I think, first of all, J.J. Redick did a fantastic job as a first-year coach, coaching the Lakers. Finished third in the tough Western Conference, all that. He did a great job. But he made a mistake. Look, as a coach, sometimes you have a gut feeling. And I used to tell my assistant coaches this, and I would always share my thoughts with them, because I used to tell them I'm tired, I'm stressed out, I'm under a lot of pressure, and you guys' number one job is not to let me do some stupid shit. Excuse my French. Don't let me do something stupid.
Yeah.
When I come in here and tell you what I'm thinking, stop me. Well, you got to first communicate with your coaches.
Yeah.
You got to tell them the dumb things that you're thinking. and I believe JJ didn't convey this to Nate McMillan or Scott Brooks, and because if he would have, they would have said, JJ.
You can't do it.
Now, you played 15 years. If you were the sixth or seventh man on a team, and all of a sudden the coach don't play you at all in the second half, you would have been on TV calling the coach an idiot. You would have been.
That's
how you would have reacted.
Yeah.
But when you're coaching, sometimes
you get caught
up in your emotions, and you feel like you're the only one dealing with this. And you're not. You just got to trust your assistants and share with them.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a decent point. Now, do you buy this notion? Because this is what I'm starting to hear. The Lakers are still a good team, and they had ended up with the worst matchup for them in the first round. In other words, the thinking is if the Lakers were matched up in any one of other first-round series, they might have been able to advance, but that this was the nightmare matchup for them. Do you agree with that?
1,000%. Because look at it. You got matched up with a younger, more aggressive, physical, athletic team. Everything the Lakers do well, the Timberwolves do better. Everything the Lakers don't do well, the Timberwolves do great. The Lakers not a great rebounding team.
No.
Timberwolves are. The Lakers are not physical. The Timberwolves are. The Lakers are not quick. The Timberwolves are. And the Timberwolves just come at you with length and waves and power. And so this was the worst matchup for the Lakers. This was the worst draw. And if they would have played Golden State or anyone else, even Denver, they would have had a better chance. Think about it. For the first time ever, the Lakers actually were able to beat Denver. Denver used to own the Lakers.
Yeah, that's true.
So anybody would have been a better matchup than the Wolves. And look, Anthony Edwards said it. He showed no fear, no concern. They went at the Lakers like they knew they were the much better team. It was never a doubt who was going to win that series.
Besides Edwards, name me from your perspective on what is, like you said, a deep team with a lot of people contributed. Name me the second guy who you think was very much the key to the Wolves dominating, not just winning, but dominating this series.
Oh, Julius Randle. Without a doubt. Because Julius Randle made Austin Reed inept. Austin Reed having to try to guard Julius Randle, it took all his confidence. It took his legs. I saw the first game. Did you see Julius Randle just banging Austin Reed from the three-point line all the way down to the post and just shoot over him?
Yeah.
Dan, if you're doing that and then Austin Reed thinking, this is just the first freaking game. I got to do this every game? No, and then your break is Nas Reed. And then Rudy Gobert is on the glass throwing them elbows. And did you see Luka and LeBron just getting out the way?
Yeah.
Guys, I'll tell you, Julius Randle just bullied. He played bully ball against the Lakers. Think about this. LeBron James is the bully for the Lakers. He's not even in the same class of being a bully as it is compared to Julius Randle.
Not at this point, that's for sure. No question. Are you as confident? You know they're going to play. It's either going to be Houston, where Houston will be the home team, a home court advantage, or Golden State. That could be determined as soon as tonight, in which case the series would start Monday. If the Golden State wins tonight, the series will start Monday night here.
Dang, this is going to blow your mind. I think the Rockets and the Wolves will be a tougher matchup for each other. I think the Wolves can beat the Warriors in 5 or 6. The same things that they're going to hurt Golden State that hurt the Lakers. Lack of size. Look at the length you can put on Steph Curry.
Yeah.
He's already tired and beat up. Now you're going to put Jaden McDaniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Now you got those two long physical guys. Then you got Steph when he drives his basket. He's got to look for Rudy Gobert. Then Jimmy Butler. Now you're going to make Jimmy more of a three-point shooter because Rudy's going to be on the basket. Then how are you going to match up to keep Rudy? Because Rudy may not be this great scorer, but heck, I don't have to be when I'm getting putbacks and dunks. You got to box him out. You got to account for him.
Yep.
When I run that high screen and roll, he rolls down that lane. So I think Houston could play a bigger lineup, but I think if the Wolves play Golden State, it could possibly be the same thing like the Lakers.
Who guards Butler?
Jay McDaniels, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Anthony Edwards. The thing I love about this Wolves team, Anthony Edwards, they don't have to hire Anthony.
No, they don't.
He'll guard anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it ain't like, well, who we gonna put Anthony on? Anthony like, no. I guard everybody. Don't save me. No. So that's the beauty of this team. You don't have to hire anybody.
Yeah,
and did you see Julius Randle moving his feet in a stance?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's never guarded like that before. So what is it? What you think? What's changed? I mean, is he picked up the vibe? Is it playing off of Anthony? Is it because I don't remember this version of Julius.
You want to win?
Yeah.
He's playing with Anthony Edwards in a team, Jay McDaniels and his team that plays defense. He's got a coach in Chris Finch that figured out how to get the best out of him.
Yeah.
Oh, and then last but not least, he would like a contract extension, I would think.
You think that's part of it?
Hey, man, I hope so. If not, he's stupid.
Yeah, that's probably part. What I like about their chances with buckets with Butler is what you say. Look, you can't. Nobody's going to stop Butler, but they will make it hard on him, and they have enough people and bodies to throw at him that it's not going to come easy. Where he's going to be able to get to where he wants to go as often and as easy as he wants. I do think they can. Yeah.
This is the difference. Normally, when Jimmy Butler's on the floor, he's the biggest personality, right?
Right.
It's going to be Anthony Edwards. Think about it. Who do you want? Who's everybody talking about? Butler or Anthony Edwards? Who is that new guy now? Who's the new kid on the block?
Right.
It's Anthony. Who's the guy that's not afraid of Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and whoever? Really?
Fans are going to be on Butler.
This dude is different, man.
Yeah,
this guy's different, man. Look, man, he respects those guys, but he's not afraid of them guys, man.
And
he enjoys playing against them.
He does. We had Mike Conley on earlier, and I said, I doubt you're going to tell me which team you want to play, but I bet you Anthony wants to play the Warriors because he wants to beat every star. He wants to keep taking out star players, and he didn't deny it. He said, Anthony wants to do it the hard way.
Listen to this. This is what Anthony Edwards done figured out that these other dum-dums haven't figured out. 90% of your all-stars and superstars, so to speak, can't guard me. Don't play defense.
Yeah.
So that's what Anthony Edwards done realized. Yeah, they can score, but they ain't going to be able to guard me. So if I can play defense a little bit, I'm going to have the advantage because they're not even going to play defense.
Why would Houston be a tougher matchup?
Because they can put size on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
They can go big. So they can occupy. Right now, think about it against the Lakers and Warriors. Hey, man, the Warriors got to look. You ain't got to worry about Rudy getting post stuff, but you got to worry about Rudy getting putbacks and second chance shots and all this stuff. Well, I mean, that's something to account for. But Houston, they got Steven Adams. They got Sengun. They got size, right? They can make this a half-court beat-me-up game. Golden State is going to have to run the Wolves off the floor. They can't beat the Wolves in a half-court game where everybody got to go to the glass and rebound. Still, can you see Steph in there trying to rebound with them guys? No. So they're going to have to open the court and play fast. And what the Timberwolves are going to have to guard against is don't get caught up in a track meet. Don't get caught up into trying to outshoot the Warriors. Play with pace, but play at your pace. Make them play your tempo and make them rebound. Keep crashing the glass because you can't run if you can't get the rebound. And you want Steve Kerr to have to commit all five guys to the defensive glass.
Right. Are you at all worried about, Dylan Brooks getting into there? If it is Houston, you got Dylan Brooks playing the mind games or the physical games, and then on the other side, you still got Draymond. Draymond's going to mess with Rudy.
Well, look, man, if you're the Wolves and you know Dylan Brooks' MO by now, you know Draymond, if you get suckered into that, that's on you. You got to have that conversation before this series and say, look, guys, You know, especially when we start kicking them, they're going to resort to this. Keep your cool. It's about the big picture. Now, if you allow that to get to you, then that tells me that you're not ready yet.
Are you ready to pick the Wolves to get to the NBA Finals, or not quite?
I'm ready for them to get to the conference finals. I believe it's going to be the Wolves and OKC.
You do?
In the conference finals. I really do. Dude, I don't think Golden State's going to beat them. If it's Golden State got to worry about Houston.
You sound cocky.
And then after this, then Golden State got to turn around after getting beat up by Houston. Then they got to turn around and see the Wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, I like them better than I like the Wolves in both series, either team. But then, so no chance that you think the Clippers are going to end up winning Game 7, or did they blow their chance? Denver's going to win that series.
Man, Game 7 at home, the Joker, that crowd in Denver, that's a lot, man. But now, if any team can go in there and beat them, it's the Clippers. You got Harden, you got Kawhi, you got Norman Powell, you got veterans, Zubac. It's not like you going into Denver with a bunch of young guys.
No.
You going into Denver with a battle-tested, hard, veteran team. So can they do it? Yes.
I think the Clippers might win tonight. Can the let's say they do win. Can they threaten Okie City, or do you see Oklahoma City as definitely getting to the conference finals?
I think OKC, they'll win a game or two, but OKC come at you in waves, man. They have relentless pressure. Think about this. It's like having a fresh Jalen Williams in your face for 48 minutes. Now, let that resonate. Dude, they come off the bench with starters that will start for other teams. There's no drop-off. Think about it. They got guys who don't play for 3 weeks. Finally get a chance to play, they get 30. Who is this guy?
Yeah, but that's the regular season. That's not going to happen in the postseason.
Okay.
You know it's a different
not going to happen for some of these. Look, it's not going to happen for some of these other teams because those coaches are afraid to go past 7.
Well, yeah.
OKC can go 11 deep.
That's true. That's very true.
Look, man, I would say this. Don't be afraid to do what got you here. Mm-hmm. You trusted your players to have the best record in the league and to get you here. Why would you stop trusting them now?
I got you. Just keep using your depth.
That's what happened to J.J. Redick.
Yeah.
He lost trust in those guys.
Yeah. Now, were you on his side or the reporter's side I'm sure you saw the tape of the pregame presser before Game 5 where he got mad at the reporter's question and threw the mic down and got out of there. What did you make of that?
I was on the reporter side because the reporter has the right to ask the question. Ooh. And JJ, as a professional coach, JJ's been in the media. He should know how to answer that question, right? If he was wrong, look, one thing, what's wrong with admitting that you are a young coach? Because you are. This is your first year. You've never been an assistant. You've never coached at any level. Dude, you've been praised for what a great job you've done all year. But you made a mistake in the playoffs because you are a young rookie coach. If you would have just thought about how you would have reacted as a player, you would not have done that because the J.J. Redick as a player would have been going off on the coach right now in the media. But he made a mistake because he's inexperienced. It happens, and it won't be the last time. So don't act like a petulant child and get mad and storm off. Answer the question and put your big boy pants on. Hey, man, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Now, let that reporter have asked that question to a player, and the player would have reacted that way. I guarantee you J.J. Redick would have called his player in his office and told him, you got to be better.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Any advice you could give? I doubt he's listening, but nevertheless, any advice you might give Tyrese Halliburton's dad about game day or game night deportment on the court?
Unfortunately, he is, how can I put this? He has worn out his welcome. He is not allowed to attend Pacer games. I think that was the right decision. I appreciate his apology. I have even more respect for Giannis for controlling his temper, because I could see Giannis could have laid this older man out, and Giannis would have been wrong. But that tells me why Giannis and Jason Tatum should be the face of the NBA, because the restraint that Giannis showed was remarkable. And I think going forward, Tyrese Halliburton's dad, if he ever allowed back into the arena, he needs to go straight to a box, to a suite.
Yeah.
He should never be allowed to sit in a regular seat among the fans. I would make Tyrese Halliburton, if you want your father to come to the game, you're going to have to buy a suite.
I don't disagree. I mean, we all knew something like that was coming, didn't we? And
This could have been worse than what happened in Auburn Hills.
Yeah.
This could have been fans and players all fighting. You know how bad this would have been?
Yeah.
That's why Adam, the commissioner, better put his foot down with this foolishness. It done got too far.
Because
he's lucky. He's lucky now. It was Giannis. I hate to think it was some of these other guys that would have lost their temper, especially after losing the game the way they lost.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Dan, it ain't that you lost. It's losing how you lost.
That was the worst. Yeah, it was awful.
Oh, my God.
Well, we both know David Stern already would have done something pretty. But I mean, he's a different commissioner. I'm not saying he's a bad commissioner, but I don't think he's got the David Stern sort of, I don't give a damn what people think. I'm going to do what I've got to do. I don't care what the players think. I don't care what the coaches think. That sort of, I'm here to protect the whole thing. I think Stern was much more aggressive about those kinds of things than Adam Silver.
Well, I can't say the commissioner was wrong in feeling that way.
No, I'm with you 100% there too. Last Wolves question for you. Have you already seen enough that you believe the Wolves should re-sign Julius Randle, make him not just about the present or the future, to say, well, let's not get prisoner of the moment. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how far they go before we make that commitment. What do you think?
I would look, man. I would sign Julius Randle. First of all, Julius Randle is going to give you a team-friendly deal. He already done it once. He did it for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Think about it. The year he made third-team All-NBA, he could have asked for a max deal. He didn't. The beauty of Julius Randle, and I'm not being disrespectful, Julius Randle knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's not a max player. That's why he didn't fight for a max deal in New York. How many guys make third-team All-NBA and don't ask for a max in their contract year? Think about that.
Not many.
So that tells me he understands who he is. So go to Julius, sit down, work out a fair deal with him, because now you see his value. Look, man, it's a value to have Nas Reed and Julius. Give up Julius and just have Nas Reed, and then look at what you're going to have coming off the bench behind Nas Reed.
Yeah.
Think about this. Nas Reed coming off the bench can play power forward or center. You let Julius Randle walk out the door, who's now your guy that's going to play power forward and center's backup?
Yeah.
I like Luka Garza. I love him. He's a great teammate, but he ain't Nas Reed or Julius Randle.
No, definitely not. That's for sure. Hey, what time's your apology to Jalen Brunson, by the way?
My apology?
Yeah, your apology.
Man, I don't apologize. Look, man.
See what he did last night?
Look, I think Jalen Brunson, the Knicks better look. Jalen Brunson is all of that and a bag of chips. But the Knicks do need to figure out how to get others more involved when he is dominating the basketball.
Anybody in particular?
Because now they're getting ready to play the Boston Celtics. Let's see how that works.
You saying occasionally he should get Cat involved?
Look, man, if they're going to beat Boston, it's going to have to be called. It's going to have to be that starting five.
Correct.
You're not going to beat Boston with just Brunson and Cat.
No, it's got to be.
You're going to need OG and everybody. It's going to have to be a team effort. Boston good, man.
Yeah, they are. They're really
Think about something. Yeah. Boston played around with Orlando.
Yeah, they did. They didn't. Yeah, and
they played around with them.
They had at least one starter, two starters out at various points in the series too, and it didn't even matter. Yeah.
Look, man, Jason Tatum didn't even play one night.
The guy you think should be the face of the league, correct? That's the guy you think should be the face of the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum and Giannis should be the face of the league. Man, what has Jason Tatum done to not be the face?
I don't know, man.
First team All-NBA, won a champion, wins every year, never in the paper for doing dumb stuff. And this is what people say, where he don't have a personality. Because he don't act crazy? That's what we want the face to be?
Sad, but I think true. By the way, do you remember D'Angelo Russell?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this was late in the regular season. D'Angelo was on a podcast. This was when the Wolves were still kind of up and down a little bit. And did you see the quote from D'Angelo? He said, "When I watch the Wolves, you know what I think they need? They need Cat and they need me." D'Angelo is convinced that the two missing pieces for the Wolves were not only Karl Anthony Towns, but D'Angelo Russell. Is there anything else you need to know about D'Lo than that quote?
That quote said it all. You can end the show on that one, Dan. We can go home and all have a drink and smoke a cigar and say, unbelievable.
Did you hit him well today on the fairway?
Dan, I'm just practicing today.
Oh.
See, Dan, that's what you don't understand. I don't play and practice on the same day. So I'm practicing now. I'm trying to groove my swing. I just tweaked my swing and changed it.
What a perfectionist.
And, so, well, Dan, anything I do, I want to be good at it, man.
Yeah.
I do.
All right, good. Well, the
I
next time you're in town during the playoffs, I got to believe you're coming in for the next round or one of the rounds. We got to get you in studio. So let me know. Don't forget to tell us when you're coming in.
Without a doubt, my friend. I got to have you take me out to dinner. I got to charge you some for all this
100%.
free advice and intel I'm giving you.
I would be delighted to take you to Arby's. You can have as many beef and cheddars as you want.
Boy, it's nice to know some things never change.
That's
You still an old cheap dude.
Thanks, Sam. Be good.
All right, Dan.
We'll talk soon. Sam Mitchell, how good is he? Let's break, get caught up. Don't forget Lavelle.
Ugh. Spam calls. Sound familiar? Introducing Line 2. Get a second phone number right on your existing phone. Imagine discounts, appointments, online forms. Handle it all without giving out your personal number. It's like having a secret weapon against spam. And when those unwanted calls sneak through, boom, blocked. No more interruptions, no more stress. Stay connected, stay protected. Keep your main number safe and out of harm's way. Ready to take back your phone? Visit line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in the App Store today.
5. Guy. I know it's radio, but out here in broadcast land, I can nonetheless see you physically cringe with each Sam 4-letter drop. He forgets it's not NBA Sirius XM satellite radio, I think. Cecil, Sam Mitchell equals gold. Tim, Sam is the best. I could listen to him all day. And 612 guy, God bless Sam Mitchell and your relationship with him.
Think about this. I love that.
When think about
this.
He was on it today.
Oh, he was
just on
ready.
it. Whether anything was possible
Playoff
today.
Sam.
Playoff
Mitchell today.
And our good friend Adam Platt, also, Sam Mitchell is gold. That came in at 448. Yeah, we could have him on. Well, the ideal thing would be to do a whole show with him, which he does. Of course, on weekends, he does the Sirius XM NBA show. His partner is smart because his partner, you just got to let Sam go, And the hard part with Sam, it's a little bit like with Chris Carter.
You don't always know when he's done.
You don't always know when he's completed the thought, and then there's a silence, and you go, okay, I better jump in, and then he keeps going.
Yeah,
that's sort of the nature of it. But yeah, he's enjoying himself. There's no question about that. Still based these days in Greater Atlanta, Georgia, and I think we didn't talk about this time, but I do think he wants to get back into coaching. I don't know if he's going to get another chance to do it, but I think he wants to be NBA coaching because he did college for a year at Memphis with
Penny. Yeah, he's had an AAU program at times.
That's it. That's exactly it. He certainly stays connected to the thing. But
so we had one actual swear word that I had to dump.
Yes, that you were there.
I was quick.
You were on it.
Yeah,
you were on it fast. All I did was look up in a panic.
Yeah, well, no, we're
hoping,
good.
And because I have the button here, but I never understand how to use the button.
You just push it.
You push it or you hold it down.
I think you just have to push it.
You just have to push it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We got 2 separate dum-dums. That was good. You don't get a dum-dum very often.
Well, you know what shut him up? Finally, this is the ultimate either compliment or rip on D'Lo. It was the D'Lo shot.
Yeah.
It was like he felt like he had nowhere to go.
Nothing else to add.
But he related to it for sure. You were asking me a couple weeks ago about, give me a list of people we've never had on the show.
Oh, yeah.
That you like to have on. You know, another one which would be really good, I love listening to him, is Isaiah Thomas.
Oh.
And I think maybe that's not a pipe dream. You know, I don't know. I don't know how closely guarded he is in that regard. Because Isaiah strikes me actually as someone who believes his voice should be heard more often than it is.
Right.
And that's another guy I would just sort of let go. And again, you know, it isn't even always a matter of agreeing with everything he says. I just think he's good to listen to. He's good to hear on a number of different issues. So for you want to play which team for the Wolves?
I think I want Golden State.
I think I do too.
I think I want Golden State. I think, though, a lot of it is because of the story, of the angles, the intensity.
Yes.
Of, again, Anthony,
yes,
is going to be at a different level. I guess you don't know that, but you assume that. I think it would be good. I thought it was really cool to have LeBron in a playoff series, honestly, at this point in his career. Same thing with Steph Curry. I don't put Curry too far down.
No.
When you talk about the legends and what they've meant to the game and where they are in their career, how great would it be for this team to have a series against that?
You could make the argument as a player right now, Curry is more impactful than LeBron.
Yeah.
And that's no shot at LeBron.
Yeah.
I really think now his injury, that's the question. How much is that going to affect what he's doing? I don't know. But I'm fascinated by who they use guarding him, who they use guarding Butler. And I don't know. I mean, Sam thinks that would actually be an easier series than the Wolves versus Houston. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I think I like their chances in either case because I do think Houston's problem is scoring. That would show up in a 7-game series against the Wolves. But there's a part of me that is rooting. You know, it's such a rich story, like you said. The people you had with Golden State, the angles. Alone, the reaction to Butler, but then it's the reaction to the other arch nemesis. Draymond didn't play here, but there's a lot of bad blood because of what he has said and done with Rudy.
Yes.
Right? What he did to Rudy.
Yes.
And then you got this legend, like you say, Steph Curry. They do know how to play, so it's a good challenge for the Wolves, even though that's the series the Wolves should win on the basis of their depth. But I think I lean that way, too. And I don't know that home court is everything, but I wouldn't mind having it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that would be anything bad. And who was it? It was Tim Conley yesterday who also acknowledged, you'd like to win. I think if he had any sort of remorse about wrapping up the Lakers series, it would have been pretty cool to win it tonight.
Right.
At home.
Yeah.
Because the Wolves weren't great at home last year in their play. That was the irony of the unbelievable playoff run.
Yep.
We were better on the road than we were at home.
It got that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got that way. The only game they ended up winning in the Dallas series was a road game.
I mean, Denver, 3 of the 4 victories was on the road, correct?
That's true. Yep.
1 and 2 there.
Yep.
And then 7, correct?
Yes.
So, it's just kind of interesting how that has worked out.
It is crazy because, at least I am, you've covered a lot of playoffs. You forget when you're a playoff kind of amateur, and I was talking to my wife about this today, that there's only going to be 8 teams left that can win the title when next week hits.
It's true.
Like it just
Elite 8.
Yeah, it just happens so fast. And obviously last year they got to the Final Four, and you don't have to beat everybody. No. You just have to beat the teams that are in front of you. And you go back to the Lakers series, like, all right, let's see what can happen here, and it shifts from nobody thinks they can win to, well, they should win the next series, and then who knows against Oklahoma City. They played great against Oklahoma City this year. The last couple of years, really, as the Thunder were ascending to where they've been. So that would be a hellacious matchup. But it just shows you how hard it is to do it because you got to go through so many rounds. But how quickly these things, you start ticking teams away, and next thing you know, you're right in the mix.
I think the only game tonight, NBA playoff game, is Game 7. The only Game 7 we've had, right? First round?
This is Game 6. Houston, Golden State.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about, I was looking at the screen, Clippers, Denver.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. That's right.
That's May 3rd.
So that's the only Game 7, right? First round?
Yep.
At least at this point, I guess, as you say, Golden State could go if.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know what the spread is in that. I think the spread's 5. which surprised me a little bit because Golden State does seem a bit banged up.
Yeah. 5.5 for
Houston's,
Golden State.
You could say they're not experienced. On the other hand, you can say, well, they're just young enough to not know they're not supposed to win this game, too. There's two ways. Although, look at what happened to Detroit. Detroit, everybody thought, had New York on the defensive.
Yeah.
And then they were up. They were up, I think, 6 or 7 with like 3 minutes to go.
Yep.
And couldn't hold on to it. The old deal of, well, is it youth that was why they couldn't finish it? Was it something else? I don't know, but they're out now. The Knicks advancing to take on the Boston Celtics. All right, top 5 will include
Wild NBA and the end of the run in San Antonio Davy.
Want to keep your personal number private but still stay connected? With Line 2, you can get a second phone line right on your device with a super simple app and no need for another phone. Whether it's for online shopping, dating, or shielding your main number from spam, Line 2 is an easy way to manage it all. Ready for peace of mind without breaking the bank? Call, text, block, and more for only $9.99. Get started with line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in any app store today. Line 2, your second line simplified.